And welcome to NFT Intel, bringing you the news on the hottest drops of the Solana NFT ecosystem. We got a little crossover for you today. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us one more time. We're doing this a little delayed meeting live stream here for you. I'm Kris Merkel from Exodus, here with our co-host Paul C. and Sol Dozer from the Sol Army. How you guys doing today?
Perfect. Doing great, Kris. Thanks for having
Nice.
us.
Yeah, as always,
Yeah,
love to have you guys here. So
yeah,
today
great to
we,
be here. We're super stoked. We've got a lot of good stuff to talk about, I think.
yeah, I do too. We were just chatting before the live stream here, kind of pontificating on some of these mints, but now we're here. So let's go ahead and kick it off. We saw last week we made a call on Wade, worldwide Wade. That was pretty amazing. I'm gonna pop this up here and see if I can zoom in a little bit. And what do you guys think? Floor price on Wade right now is incredible.
Astonishing.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
mean, that is far more than I thought it was ever going to pop. I knew that it was going to do well, but wow, congrats to them. I mean, what was it, up to 60 at one point? I don't know what it is right now, but oh, holy
It's
crap.
at let me pop this up here. It's at 50 53 is what I think I'm seeing. What I think I'm seeing here.
So what is almost 2 grand of floor
Yeah.
price?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I'm looking at, let me just reload this. I'm actually looking at 63 now. So it looks like they had a little bit of a pump. No, 62.8. Yeah, this was one. We called it last week. It was a 5.5 Sol mint. Friends and family A list. I think it sold out pretty quick. I wasn't around. I was on vacation, unfortunately. Um, Dozer, you had an experience with it.
Oh my.
What was your experience like?
Oh, well, I was watching it at like 8 or 9 Sol, which was I thought that was, pretty high. And then I saw it dropping, and it got down to 3, and I turned a buy sweeper on to just buy up as many as I could, and it didn't hit a single one. And then from 3, I watched it just keep on rising and rising, and I thought to myself, don't FOMO in, don't buy, you miss the bottom, you don't know when it's going to stop, and I just had to keep on watching it. But I was so ready to pick up more more of those than I could count.
Yeah, so one thing that is
Yeah, it
really
was.
interesting. Sorry, Paul. Well, let me pop in here really quick. One
No,
thing
you're
that is
good.
interesting here. I wish I had a pen that I could pop this up. This is a really unique NFT in the fact that the supply is 1,500, yet there's 1,400 owners. That means most of these people only hold one of these things, and there's only 91 listed. Right? That's almost the discrepancy right there between the, you what's there's 91 listed, 1,400 owners, and the total supply is 1,500. So, what were you going to say, Paul?
Yeah, I think that there wasn't too much chatter about these initially, and then people really sort of caught on about who KB was, and we talked a little bit about who that was last week and his affiliations. I think it really clicked for people with that G Dragon and Peace Minus One affiliation. That one's really big. And yeah, I think people really caught on to that, and that's when we saw it rip. They've got some, and I do want to mention too, like they've got some other stuff coming pretty soon here as well. That's worth keeping an eye on. So this project in crypto and this sort of what I would say this umbrella has a lot of stuff down the pipeline. So definitely one that I would keep watch for. I know they have a project called Ooze that's coming out. I don't know exactly the date, but we'll touch on that closer when that's announced. But definitely something to keep an eye on if you're watching this stream. This Worldwide Wade and crypto group definitely has a solid head on their shoulders.
Yeah, one to watch for sure. Congrats to any of you who were able to pick one of those up, either by mint or on secondary. So what's on the new mints this week? You want to start with what's happening tomorrow? Should be the 22nd of September.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, Secret Skelly, a little crossover from Near. Secret Skelly Society, which is a big Near project, an OG project from Near. Near blockchain, for those of you who've never heard of it. They're launching a SOL version of their NFT. It's Near the OG Near projects. There's only a few of them that really took off, and Secret Skellies is definitely one of them. They were one of the first ones that launched on Near, and I think that's what they're trying to ride into Sol. It's going to be tough because their collection size is much larger, and Near has definitely lost traction. But I hope that they can pull something off.
Yeah, let's take a look at their Near. Let's take a look at their Near collection here really quick. So, but it looks like the floor is about 150 Near. I think, Paul, you said that there was only 177 of these. No, 777
There's
of these.
777. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this one is definitely interesting to me. Like, this team definitely has stuck with it. They have had, I think this is their third mint now. They had their initial mint on Near, then a second mint with the Undead Army, and now they're moving over to Solana. I really like actually their new art that they've got here. The pixel art is awesome and everything like that, but art is subjective, and I'm a little bit more of a fan of what they've got here and their traits. So a little bit about what they've got going for them. They actually have the Skellyverse portfolio tracker app that supports Ethereum, Near, and Solana, and it is live on the Android and iOS app stores as well. So what you're kind of getting into with this project is getting into their ecosystem, being able to access their DAO and their voting rights, and a share of their crypt. These guys in this team over on Near were pretty well known, at least when we were involved in that space, of having some pretty top tier alpha and information. And they've certainly stuck around and made sure to continue delivering value to their ecosystem and their holders. So this definitely makes it notable. The other really interesting thing, while I'm on the topic, is they're using only one NFT launchpad platform. I know you were talking a little bit about it in advance. Do you want to introduce kind of their cool launch plan for tomorrow?
Yeah. So, interestingly enough, and you can take a look at the screen here. It was a Near project. They're going to Sol. This is going to be a 5,001 NFT NFT mint. The price is going to be 1.5 Sol. The launch mode is interesting. If you look here, it's a lottery for allocation. And what that means is that basically people will buy a raffle ticket. Each wallet can submit up to 10 raffle tickets, the whitelist and the public mint. I'm not sure how much their whitelist allocation is, but the whitelist allocation is guaranteed at least one NFT. Like, you still have to put in for your raffle ticket, but it's like, here you've got a different color raffle ticket, so you're gonna be guaranteed a mint. So basically, you have to deposit SOL to enter tickets into the lottery. The lottery pool opens up tomorrow at 14 UTC, which I believe is like 9 o'clock Eastern. The lottery will take place after the pool closes, and the claim of the winning NFTs and if you don't win, you get your 1.5 SOL refunded back to your wallet. So if you don't have, if you're not one of the lucky ones to get one of the Secret Skelly's NFTs, then you're gonna get your mint back.
That's really interesting. That might be the first time I've seen that. I can't think of another project that done sort of that concept.
Yeah, I haven't seen this platform before either. I remember there was a project a long time ago. I think it wasn't Lofts, but it was another project that was kind of similar to Lofts. I can't even remember it anymore. Rooms or something, but they did something pretty similar. I apologize that I don't remember it, but yeah, it's pretty neat. And also the whitelisting basically just guarantees you a win. So that's pretty cool as well. So I'm curious to see how this platform works. Hopefully, it's a little bit more of a fair way of distributing the mints, other than the usual botting. Um, so yeah, hopefully everyone comes away happy with that one tomorrow, and everyone that's wanting one can get one.
Excellent.
sure.
Yeah, I'm looking here. Oh, look, it looks like the stream caught up. I'm not sure what this looks like on YouTube, but it looks like the stream was off for just a little bit. So hopefully everybody is with us. One only app. Let's take a look at that really quick. So only one touts themselves as being a social, a Web3 social platform. I don't know much about it, but the trend, is let's make a launchpad and bring some of these NFT projects, those NFT projects into our, bring these NFT projects into our kind of closed ecosystem. And so you can kind of have this vertical of launchpad, marketplace, and a whole bunch of other stuff like that. So we shall see.
Yeah, cool
Again,
launchpad.
yeah.
For one last thing on the Skellys themselves, as for the actual project, like from an investor stance, and this might be a little more geared toward beginner investors, but it's always good to see projects that have established pre-existing collections that are doing relatively well compared to their competitors, like Skelly's on Near. Like, if you translate their floor price from Near over to Solana, it's like a 16 Solana floor, which is really good. I mean, that's relatively grand, smaller collection, but kind of helps you gauge interest and make a little bit more of an informed decision on whether or not to buy around mint time. And those are the sort of things that I look for when I'm buying.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what kind of carryover they get, and then how popular their collections are. I mean, it's kind of interesting. Like, it's always looking at the market and looking at the ebb and flow of the mints. We had 2 weeks of some really solid mints, and as we have kind of gone through the ebb and flow, it'd be nice to actually see a chart that shows where the money inflows and outflows are between collections, because once you start, like, you usually get a couple really good mints, and then some of those mints end up pulling money away. We can see that right now, like with OK Bears, how people were dumping that into like dust for the Utes, and how it ends up being a zero-sum game after a while. But there's a lot of builders right now that are doing really well with bringing stuff to the market. Trust Labs made a launch pad last week with Bad Cat, which is something that we didn't cover, but floor price is like 2 SOL over that. So it was a really smooth mint, and the launch went great. So we'll have to end up seeing what Secret Skelly's brings to the table.
Yeah, I think your point right there is actually a great segue into the next project. Speaking of builders bringing new and innovative structure to the space.
Yeah, time to switch to the next project, right?
Sorry,
we're already halfway done.
Let's do it.
I just wanted to move us along.
Move it along.
Sure. I'll chat about this one. This one is really cool, and this is definitely a narrative that I've seen pop up a lot in this space. Dozer and I are actually working with the Sol Army team to develop a very cool product, which we will be talking about more in the coming weeks. Can't say too much about it, other than we have been looking at these different solutions of which Helio provides. So we've looked at quite a few other projects as well in kind of the same vein: Icons, Coinable, Sphere, Helio, and they all are working towards this solution on Solana. So essentially what Helio is, it's a complete Web3 payments platform, which a lot of these companies are equating themselves to essentially the Stripe, if you're familiar with that, of Web3. So like a point of sale and invoicing and checkouts and everything like that. So being able to offer like e-commerce subscriptions, pay links, invoicing, pay streams, the whole 9 yards of any way you could possibly want to accept payments. So Helio, very, very cool, and really awesome to see this kind of infrastructure be moving into Solana. As mentioned, there are a few of the other projects that are offering similar things as well, but they're not minting an NFT this week. So that's why we're focusing on Helio for now. So Helio's mint is of Hellions or Helions, however we are going to say it, and we'll give you a little bit of rundown of the key info of this mint. So it's minting tomorrow as well, big day tomorrow, September 22nd, with a 10,000 supply on Magic Eden Launchpad at a price of 3 SOL. This whitelist actually, I believe you had to use their platform to get whitelist, and I fumbled the bag on this one, and it is what it is, but I'm a little upset about it. So why hold one of these Hellion, or why mint and hold one of these Hellion NFTs? Sorry, I'm just trying to move me being upset about missing on my bag. Move past that, That just makes me a bit sad. But anyways, now I'll just FOMO over this as I explain why it's important. So what the Hellions give you access to is naturally DAO access and community access, which is expected with these NFTs, as well as a 10% credit on royalties and subscription fees, which are paid to the DAO quarterly. In addition, you also get that Helio X Pro subscription for free, which would usually be 2 SOL per month. So what this Pro subscription, sorry, I've just seen Dozer messing around over here.
Yeah.
So what this
don't pay any attention to him. Here, we'll go to 2 up. How's that? Go ahead, Paul.
What? No, you're good. So, what the Helio X Pro essentially gives you is access to their platform, which is really good for different communities, including 0% transaction fees, the APIs, which they offer, branded checkouts, plugins, Discord bot, and the whole 9 yards of what you would need as a brand building on Solana and needing a payment solution. When doing research on this project, I saw that this team really has a lot of entrepreneurial background and a lot of success, actually claiming, or they have sold companies for a total of 600 million to other companies such as Cisco. So really interesting team, very interesting product. And especially if you're a community or a DAO, the Helio X and the Pro subscription, which would be included from holding one of these NFTs, definitely makes a lot of sense rather than paying that 2 SOL a month. So I'm pretty curious to see how this 3 SOL 10,000 supply mint is going to go, but we'll have to see.
I'm going to take a look at it tomorrow, see how it goes. I'm interested in the fact why I think that this is actually a really cool thing to see how people adopt it. Paul, you were saying earlier that there's a couple different solutions that are being built right now, and there's actually going to be like one winner. So it's not like anything that's truly innovative, but what it does is it allows for a platform to actually move transactions on Solana natively from your wallet, that you can you can pay other individuals. It's like sending money with Cash App or Stripe or Venmo or something like that. But you also have what's called payment streams, which are, when we think of streams of income, right? And so you can set up these things where you're continually making money on this stuff all the time. And that is actually really unique because, like we talked about, I get paid in Bitcoin. and I get paid once a month. But why can't I get paid like every second? Well, I get paid at the real time. Like, why don't I just have a stream of income that equals to my salary while I'm working, right? At the market rate. Like, I could literally just ride the market all the time with what's coming in and what's coming out. So it'll be interesting to see how they develop that and what type of adoption. Of course, getting those things integrated into wallets, getting them integrated into third-party apps, which it looks like they have, quite a bit of adoption with this already. So it's going to be like here, I'll show you up here on the screen here. Like, you get pay links, e-commerce. I mean, these are some of the use scenarios that they talk about: pay links, e-commerce, checkouts, tipping, invoices, pay streams, paywalls, subscriptions, and Discord pay. I mean, that's a pretty big bucket.
Yeah, this is a pretty interesting thing. Just to go back to that, I've actually used this platform, and they do have a lot of partners already, which is amazing. And yeah, just moving away from the NFT and back to the platform, I have used it, and it's quite incredible. I actually had to make a payment while standing in line at the bank, ironically enough, and it was just so easy and so convenient to do that I was like, dang, why the hell am I standing here in this bank line when everything can be like this? But I've never really looked into this pay streams thing before, and that's really cool as well. That's like DCA to the max.
Pretty much in or out.
Yeah.
I mean,
that'll be the new future. That'll be the way that payments work in the future one day. At least salaries or things of that nature.
My mortgage. Why can't I pay my mortgage like every second? It's coming in and going out. I mean, it seriously, like, for things like that, it adds a totally different dynamic to what Web3 can do.
Yeah, I have a couple comments about this project from more of a zoomed out view as an investor. And sorry if I keep looking away. I took some notes down here. But Paul, when you were going through the description at the beginning, there were two main things that jumped out at me. One thing you said was infrastructure, and then the other thing you said, or you didn't say this, but you alluded to it, is competition. And both of those two things are really key and really good for investors to see. I'll explain why. Like, infrastructure, they're building something that other people are going to be able to build on top of, the layer 2 or a layer 1 blockchain. But this is, people will be able to embed this tool into other things that they built. And then as an investor, when we see more of that type of thing happening, it solidifies, in this case, the Solana blockchain a whole lot more. And then the other thing I said was competition. I mean, this is just the basic economics. The more competition that you see is so good for an investor and so good for a consumer too. It drives competition, it drives growth, sure. It drives down, keeps margins slim. It's really good to see, and it also justifies that the product that they're building is good enough that other people also want to build it. It's not just a one-off. They're hoping that it sticks. No, it's such a good product that many people are convinced it's going to stick, and those are two really bullish things to see. So I love to see those.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, we chatted a bit earlier before we even jumped on the stream about some of the subscription stuff, and we can definitely follow up on that on our spaces after. But yeah, I mean, this payment and stuff, I think it's really cool, and I will have a lot of thoughts to share on the spaces if people are tuning into that as well.
Cool. And where Helio's minting tomorrow on on the
Magic Eden.
Only one app. No, that's Skelly's Magic Eden. That's right.
Magic Eden Launchpad.
Yeah, I got it right here for you. Magic Eden Launchpad for the Hellions. So we'll see. We'll be following that closely. Let's move on to our last piece. We've talked about it a little bit before, sports club, and then try to get everybody who's watching here all over into our spaces. Who wants to take the sports club?
for Sports Club. We touched on it a little bit last week, I know. We didn't have entirely all the info about their mint coming up. But the gist of Sports Club, I'll just recap sort of what they're doing as a project and then briefly touch on the two different types of collections they have. But the gist of the Sports Club is that they're creating a platform where communities or token creators, like native token creators, like in the Solana's case, we have our GV token. They can take their token and create games for communities to play and win prizes. And really, it's, you know, the communities have creative control on what the prizes are and what the games are, but for the most part, they're either NFT related or, as their name alludes to, sports related. You know, you're predicting the outcome of a sports match, and if you predict enough of them right, you know, and you score enough points compared to the other people, you win the prize at the end, or prizes. And it's a tool just made for communities like ours to essentially burn their token, and hopefully they burn their token at a quicker rate than the cost of what the prizes are, and then also it drives community engagement on top of that. So that's the gist of what Sports Club does. But within Sports Club, they have two collections. One of them minted. I use that term loosely because it technically did mint, but it was a very limited collection. There were only 20, I think. Oh, sorry. It looks like we lost Paul here. He said his phone died.
All right.
No, it's 25 League Masters, I believe, for 555 Sol, or 550. I can't remember.
Okay. 25 League Masters. That was their first collection, but they cost 555 Sol each. So do the math on that. It's a lot of money. Those are the communities like ours who are running their token through the Sports Club platform. And then their upcoming mints are the MVP NFTs, and these are this is a much larger collection at a much lower price, and it's like most other collections. You know, you can stake and get tokens, but they also allow you to get perks within the Sports Club's app. So you know, there's different uses for them, like they're needed by DAOs to upgrade their League Masters and get different perks, and they're needed to play enhanced and better games within the whole ecosystem. So you can play different games, things like that. And then another cool thing that they had, which I actually kind of like this is neat, is as an individual, if you hold 5 of the MVP NFTs, you can create your own mini league with up to 12 people. So it's a lot less expensive, and you can just sort of run games within like a friend group. And that's I've been following along Sports Club all along, and I love the concept of it all. Yeah, that's Sports Club. There's so much I could go on for 10-15 minutes. Sorry.
Well, let's take it into spaces.
Yeah,
and
sure.
we'll go ahead and continue over there to like kind of dig into that. Let me go ahead and pop this up right now. Hop on Twitter and hop over to the Project Intel Twitter account and go ahead and hit that spaces. Not reminder, but actually jump in there. And we're going to go ahead and get that started here in just
at Project Intel.
At Project Intel. That's right. For now, it's at Project Intel. We're going to hopefully get some one-on-one conversations for all you who are watching the program and get some engagement from you. So, with that, any final thoughts for today?
Not really, Chris. We can just keep on rolling. Big bullish couple of months really coming up for NFTs. Huge projects developing and releasing. And I mean, I'm already looking out into October, November, and there are just so many on the horizon.
Cool. Well, you will hear about it here first. We're again a couple days late, but we come to you every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern to bring you all of the information on what the hottest mints are. Remember, at Project Intel on Twitter. And with that, I bid you adieu. Thanks for watching, everyone.
All right, Dozer. Hello?
Okay, you guys can. Yeah, you guys can. You guys can talk.